Hello, today we're going to be working on CC1 2.2.2, review and preview. Problem 34, we are assuming that the shaded tiles in the large square at right each have an area of 1 square foot. We need to use this information to answer the following questions. What is the total area of the shaded squares? So, there's shaded and unshaded. So the shaded squares are the darker ones, so I can go through and just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. The total area of the shaded squares is 20 square feet. I could also write that as 20 feet squared. Okay, then for part B, what about the unshaded squares? So the white ones that would be in there. Well, if I look at this, I know 7 and 7, the area of this whole space is 49 feet squared. So if I subtract the shaded squares, I should get the total number of unshaded squares, or the total area for it. 49 minus 20. Okay, I can set it up. 9 minus 0 is 9. 4 minus 2 is 2. The total area of the unshaded squares is 29 feet squared. Now for part C, find the total number of square feet of area in the figure in 2 different ways. First way is what we did earlier. So we have 7 feet times 7 feet. Length times width is 49 feet squared. The second way I can do this is I can think of it as, well, it's the shaded squares plus the unshaded squares. So 20 feet squared plus 29 feet squared equals 49 feet squared. Okay, problem 35. Hector measured the area of his desktop by covering it with quarters. Can he find the area using these circular units of measure exactly? Or will he have to estimate? So, if I, for a second, draw 4 circles and put them together, can he use them accurately? Or will he have, accurately, so measure it exactly, or will he have to estimate? Well, Hector is going to have to estimate, because if he used circles, there will be gaps. What I mean by gaps is this yellow space right here. That's a gap. We can't exactly get the measurement if there's a gap like that. Okay, problem 36. We need to use the numbers 2, 3, and 4 and the operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division to create 3 different numerical expressions or equations with 3 different values or answers. One of the expressions should have a value of 14. Okay, so what this means is I can take 2, 3, and 4 and say, okay, well, I'm going to multiply 2 and 3, and I'm going to add 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. The second one, maybe I take 4 times 3 plus 2. Or maybe instead of adding, since I added the last one, maybe this time I subtract 2. Okay, so 4 times 3 is 12. 12 minus 2 is 10. I can't use that one because I have to use 3 different values. So I'm going to erase it. What if I did 3 times 4 divided by 2? 3 times 4 is 12, divided by 2 is 6. Okay, the last one, it has to equal 14. So what I know is that 7 times 2 is 14. So how can I get 7? Well, I can do 4 plus 3. Okay, and then I could add 2, or multiply it by 2. 7 times 2. Okay, but if I do it this way, I'm going to end up with the same expression as over here, because I have to multiply before I add or subtract. In order to change that, then I have to put this 4 plus 3, because I want 7 first. I have to use parentheses. Okay. Problem number 37. What is the best way to display the data below? Why? Display the data using the method you choose. So this is the daily high temperatures for Honolulu, Hawaii in December of 2009. Okay, and there's 83, 83, 81, 82, 80, 83, 81, 82, etc. Well, I think it's numerical data. So it's either going to be a histogram, a dot plot, or a stem and leaf plot. Now remember that stem and leaf plots and histograms are very closely related. So I usually count them more together. Okay, so if I go through each one of these, histogram's numerical. It uses bins. Now if I look at these numbers, they're all really close together. And there's a lot of repeating numbers. So in that case, I'm going to choose a dot plot. So I think that a dot plot is the best way to display the data because the numbers are close together. And they repeat. Okay, I do need to draw my dot plot. So remember, it's a number line. And I know there's an 83, an 81, an 80, and 79, and a 78. Looks like 78's my highest, and 84, or lowest, and 84 is my highest. So if I start with 78, I have to put a 79, an 80, an 81, 82, 83, and an 84. I left room on either end just in case I didn't see one of the numbers. So I'm going to go through each one and I'm just going to write a dot or put a dot whenever I see it. So like the first two, they're both 83s. So I'm going to put 2 dots. Okay, cross them out. There's an 81, an 82, an 80, 83, 81, 82, 79, 83, 84, 82, 81, 81. Now the second row, I have an 80, an 81, and an 84, an 80, an 80, and an 81, and an 81, 82, 80, 79, 78, an 80, an 84, 82, 82, 81, and 83. My dot plot should look like this. 81 was the most reoccurring temperature in Honolulu, Hawaii in December of 2009. Problem 38. Find the missing number that makes each of the following number sentences true. I can use a calculator. Okay, so 15 times a number is equal to 90. I can look at this as, well, if I divide 90 by 15, I'm going to find that number. So 90 divided by 15 is 6. So that's it. That means that 15 times 6 is 90. I'm going to box my answer so I know which number it is. Part B, this is saying 90 divided by a number equals 18. Well, if I take 90 and I divide it by 18, I'm going to also find that number because 18 times that number is 90. So 90 divided by 18 is 5. So 90 divided by 5 equals 18. Part C, 6 times a number is 96. I could just use division again. 96 divided by 6. Okay, and I can use long division. I don't have to use a calculator. 6 goes into 9 one time. 9 minus 6 is 3. Bring down my 6. 6 goes into 36 6 times. And then I am zeros. So 96 divided by 6 is 16, which means that 6 times 16 is 96. And part D, a number divided by 11 equals 13. So if I multiply 13 times 11, I will get my number. And I can use my standard algorithm to help me multiply. So 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 1 is 2. Put my place value in. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 1 is 1. And I add them together. 6 plus 0 is 6. 2 plus 3 is 5. And 1 plus 0 is 1. So 156 divided by 11 is 13. As always, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to talk to me.